The cameras were rolling, the music was low, and the dinner table seemed calm. That calm didn't last long. Yandy dropped a secret so explosive it shattered the peace in the room. What began as casual laughter and clinking glasses quickly spiraled into chaos when whispers of a pregnancy surfaced, pulling Sierra and Mendeecees into a storm nobody expected. The tension was almost unbearable, thick enough to feel in the air. Fans and insiders immediately started buzzing, all wondering the same thing. What exactly had Yandy revealed that left Sierra storming out in tears and Mendeecees frozen in disbelief? Rumors suggested this wasn't just a careless slip. It was a carefully timed revelation exposing hidden connections, secret conversations, and possibly a scandal that could ruin friendships and marriages. Every reaction, from Sierra's shock to Mendeecees' silence, was captured on camera, leaving viewers stunned. Was this a long overdue truth or a strategic move to drive a wedge between two people already on shaky ground? The night had started smoothly. Smiles, inside jokes, and attempts to keep things civil masked years of unresolved tension. Yandy had been quiet most of the evening, observing and listening, letting conversations swirl around her. But anyone paying attention could tell something was building. Her eyes carried weight, signaling she wasn't just waiting to speak. She was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When the laughter peaked and the energy felt light, she leaned in, her voice cutting through the chatter. Insiders said it wasn't only what she said, but how she said it. Calm, steady, and deliberate. As though she had held this truth for far too long, she revealed something that could no longer stay hidden. Something everyone needed to hear, especially Sierra. The room shifted instantly. Sierra's smile froze mid-laugh. Mendeecees glanced nervously, and it felt as though the walls themselves were closing in. Guests exchanged uneasy glances. Fans later said the tension could be felt even through the screen. These words landed like a bomb. The whispers of a pregnancy connected directly to Mendeecees, threatening to pull Sierra into a scandal she wasn't prepared for. Gasps filled the room. Some clutched their drinks, others whispered quietly. A heavy silence followed, stretching each second longer than the last. Sierra pushed back her chair, face flushing with disbelief. "What are you even talking about?" she snapped, voice shaking with a mix of anger and panic. Mendeecees stayed frozen, his hand gripping the edge of the table. He didn't rush to deny it. That hesitation alone made everything feel more suspicious. Fans immediately noted how unusual his silence was, normally quick to explain. This time he was speechless. Yandy didn't waver. She explained that rumors had been swirling for weeks. Someone close had been hiding something huge. Now, with evidence surfacing, she couldn't stay quiet. She spoke of private conversations, secret exchanges, and proof that made ignoring the truth impossible. Sierra's eyes burned as she turned to Mendeecees, demanding he speak. "Tell her she's lying!" she barked, slamming her hand on the table. "Tell me this isn't true!" Her voice was desperate, almost pleading, because she already sensed that his silence meant guilt. Guests were stunned. Some tried to calm the situation. Others leaned in, unwilling to miss a word. The scene shifted from lighthearted to full-blown chaos. Mendeecees finally spoke, but his words only added fuel. "It's not what it sounds like," he muttered, voice low and unconvincing. Sierra exploded, tears welling in her eyes. "Not what it sounds like? Do you hear yourself? It's either true or it isn't." Fans watching described it as one of the most gut-wrenching moments in recent memory. Sierra's pain was raw and visible, while Yandy remained calm, almost cold, clearly prepared for this reaction. Accusations flew. Sierra accused Mendeecees of betraying her trust, questioning his loyalty, honesty, and even his ability to look her in the eye. Every word dripped with hurt. Yandy refused to back down, insisting the truth had to come out sooner or later, and that it was better to face it now than let it fester. She spoke about responsibility, honesty, and confronting consequences, no matter how painful. The room split. Some supported Yandy, believing she did the right thing. Others thought she chose the worst moment to reveal something so personal. What was supposed to be a dinner of unity had turned into a battlefield. Sierra's voice cracked as she asked Mendeecees again, "Is it true?" The desperation was heartbreaking. This wasn't gossip anymore. Her life was being pulled apart before everyone's eyes. Mendeecees lowered his gaze, unable to meet hers. Silence spoke louder than any denial. Gasps echoed as Sierra's face crumbled. She stood abruptly, chair scraping the floor, pointing at him. "You let me sit here, laugh and smile while you knew this was hanging over us. You humiliated me in front of everyone." Tears streamed down her face as she stormed out, ignoring friends calling after her. The door slammed like the final punctuation on a scene full of tension. Even after she left, the room remained buzzing. Guests whispered, some leaning toward Yandy for more information, others staring at Mendeecees, waiting for him to explain. He buried his face in his hands, muttering words no one could hear. Every second was captured by the cameras. Fans would later replay the scene, analyzing every glance, every gesture, every sign of guilt or regret. For viewers, the drama wasn't just about the revelation. It was the timing, the delivery, and Sierra's collapse that made it unforgettable. Damage was done. Trust was broken. Relationships cracked. While some saw it as typical reality TV drama, others recognized the raw emotion on Sierra's face. This was more than a storyline. It was real, painful, and public. The silence ended with one guest breaking it sharply. "So, it's true?" Mendeecees lifted his head, eyes red with frustration. "I didn't want it to come out like this," he muttered. But instead of calming the room, his words enraged everyone further. Yandy leaned forward, daring him. "So you admit it?" she asked. He didn't answer directly, but his silence said more than words ever could. Outside the room, Sierra's voice could be heard through her tears. "Don't touch me. Don't tell me it's okay. He's been lying to me for who knows how long." The sound cut through the room, making every word sting. Yandy shifted her role from exposer to almost judge, pressing Mendeecees to finally own up. "How long were you planning to keep this from her?" she asked sharply. Mendeecees slammed his fist on the table. "I was protecting her," he said defensively. Yandy didn't flinch. "Protecting her?" she shot back. "From what? From knowing her whole life has been a lie?" As the argument grew heated, a few guests tried to step in, hoping to calm the tension, but the damage had already taken hold. One friend whispered to Mendeecees, urging him to go to Sierra and fix things before it was too late. Another cut in sharply. "What's he going to say? The truth? It's already destroyed her." Outside, Sierra paced back and forth, clutching her phone, tears streaming down her face as she called a close family member. Her voice trembled with emotion. "You won't believe what just happened," she whispered through sobs. "He's been hiding something that changes everything." Her family reacted with a mix of shock and anger, telling her to leave immediately and reminding her she deserved so much better. Inside, Yandy turned her attention back to the group, making clear why she had chosen this moment. "Everyone here deserves to know what's been happening," she said firmly. "This isn't just about Sierra. It's about all of us being deceived. About trust being broken." The guests murmured in shock. Some whispered in support, debating whether Yandy had done the right thing, while others worried she'd gone too far. "She's brave for saying it," one friend admitted. "This could ruin everything." Another shook their head. "Ruin? It's already ruined. She just ripped off the bandage." Mendeecees finally stood, chair scraping loudly against the floor. "Enough," he said, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and desperation. "You all think you know what's going on, but you don't know the full story." The room fell silent. He glanced toward the door where Sierra had left, then back at Yandy. "You don't know the sacrifices I've made. You don't know the pressure I've been under." "I made mistakes, yes," Yandy said, narrowing her eyes. "But not everything you're saying is the truth. So, what part is a lie?" The silence stretched. Mendeecees struggled visibly, searching for an answer that wouldn't make things worse. Fans watching later noted how stunned they were by his inability to defend himself. Some felt his hesitation said more than any words could. Others wondered if he was hiding even bigger secrets. Suddenly, the door burst open. Sierra returned, her eyes swollen and her voice raw from crying. "Say it to my face," she demanded, standing directly in front of Mendeecees. "Is it true?" The room held its breath. Mendeecees opened his mouth, closed it, then finally whispered, "Yes." A collective gasp filled the room. Sierra's knees buckled, and a friend rushed to catch her before she fell. The heartbreak in her eyes was almost unbearable. Fans later called it the most devastating moment of the night. But Sierra wasn't done. She pushed away the arms, trying to comfort her, and pointed at Mendeecees. "You've humiliated me in front of everyone, in front of the world. I can never forgive you for this." Her voice was fierce, even through her tears, each word cutting sharply. Mendeecees tried to step closer, reaching for her hand, but she pulled back sharply. "Don't touch me," she said coldly. "You lost that right the moment you betrayed me." Yandy shook her head, watching everything unfold. "This is what happens when lies pile up," she said softly but firmly. "The truth always finds a way to come out." The guests were torn between sympathy for Sierra and curiosity about what might come next. Some urged her to walk away and never look back, while others wondered if there were still more secrets waiting to surface. The uncertainty only fueled speculation. As the night went on, the argument spread through the house. Friends debated loudly, some taking sides, others insisting the situation had gone completely out of control. Whispers about who else knew, how long it had been happening, and what the future would hold dominated conversations. Fans online reacted instantly. Clips from the dinner were shared within minutes. Hashtags exploded and comments flooded in. Some praised Yandy for revealing the truth, while others criticized her for doing it so publicly. Either way, everyone was captivated. Eventually, Sierra left the house entirely, riding with a close friend. The cameras captured her quiet sobs in the back seat, her hand pressed against the window as if holding back the flood of emotions. Inside, the aftermath continued. Mendeecees sat isolated, head hanging low, while Yandy defended her actions to those who thought she had gone too far. "If you love someone, you don't lie to them," she said firmly. She deserved the truth. The night ended with fractured friendships, unanswered questions and emotions running high. For the audience, it became one of those unforgettable nights where the chaos felt too real to dismiss. The following day, the fallout exploded online. Fans dissected every detail, every look, every word, replaying clips thousands of times as if examining evidence. Hashtags trended, painting Ciara as the victim and Mendeecees as the ultimate villain. Yet some argued Yandy's timing was cruel, that revealing secrets so publicly caused just as much harm. Ciara remained silent. She didn't post, call, or respond to messages. Her silence only fueled speculation. Was she still with him? Did she leave for good? Fans debated endlessly. Behind the scenes, the drama hadn't cooled. Ciara stayed with her sister, trying to find a safe space to breathe, but even there, emotions raged. Sitting on the couch, replaying the night over and over, she whispered through tears, "How could he do this to me?" Her sister held her close. "You trusted him with everything," she said gently. "He didn't just betray you, he broke our family's trust." Mendeecees, meanwhile, tried desperately to control the damage. He called, texted, and even showed up at her sister's house. But Ciara refused to see him. "Tell him to leave," she instructed firmly. "I don't want to hear another excuse." Still, Mendeecees didn't give up. Venting to a friend, he admitted, "She doesn't understand. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was trying to protect her from something worse." His friend pressed, confused. Worse than lying about this? Mendeecees remained vague, trailing off. Fans speculated wildly. Financial trouble, family betrayal, or even darker secrets. The mystery kept everyone hooked. Yandy, meanwhile, didn't regret her decision. When confronted about whether she regretted exposing the truth at dinner, she stood her ground. "Sometimes the truth has to come out in the ugliest way possible," she said. He would have kept stringing her along forever if no one stepped in. Some still argued she was stirring the pot for her own satisfaction, but she didn't waver. Days later, a group meeting was held to try and bring everyone together. The atmosphere was heavy with tension. Ciara sat with her arms crossed, avoiding Mendeecees' gaze. He looked exhausted but determined to speak. "I owe you the truth," he began softly. "I should have told you myself instead of letting it get this far." Ciara laughed bitterly. "You think admitting it now changes anything?" He shot back. "You've humiliated me in front of everyone. That can't just be erased." Friends tried to intervene, some defending Ciara, others attempting to mediate, but she wasn't ready for compromise. "Don't tell me to calm down," Ciara snapped, her voice shaking with anger. "I gave him everything, and he repaid me with love." Mendeecees finally raised his voice, frustration breaking through. "I didn't lie to hurt you. I lied." Before he could finish, the room erupted with a new twist. One friend leaned forward, hinting there might be even more to the story than Yandy had revealed. "Are you really telling us everything?" they asked sharply. The question sent a chill across the room. Ciara turned pale and glared at Mendeecees. "What else is there?" she demanded. He hesitated, lips parting, but no words came. The room held its breath. Finally, Mendeecees sighed heavily. "There's more," he admitted. Gasps filled the air. Even Yandy, who had set off the storm, looked startled. "More?" she repeated, her brow furrowed. Ciara slammed her hands on the table, trembling. "What are you keeping from me now? How many more secrets are there?" Mendeecees wiped his face with his hands, torn and unsure. "I can't say it here," he muttered. "Not in front of everyone. That's not your choice anymore," Ciara said, standing abruptly, her chair scraping the floor. "If there's more, you'll say it now." The room erupted in shouts as friends urged him to finally reveal the truth. Fans watching at home were glued to their screens, speculating wildly about what he could still be hiding. Social media lit up instantly, hashtags trending, theories flying. One fan tweeted, "This is the craziest storyline ever," while another said, "If Ciara stays after this, she'll never be free." Yandy, who had started the chaos, sat quietly with her arms crossed. Even she seemed uneasy now, realizing that revealing one truth might have unleashed a flood of others. The night ended without resolution. Ciara walked away again, refusing to speak to Mendeecees. While he looked like a man crushed under a weight he couldn't drop, the tension carried into the following days. Wherever Ciara went, whispers followed her. Friends, family, even distant acquaintances seemed aware of what had happened. Their pitying looks only fueled her anger. She couldn't escape the questions. What else was Mendeecees hiding, and why wouldn't he just come clean? Mendeecees struggled as well. Calls went unanswered, messages ignored. The walls seemed to close in as pressure from fans, family, and guilt mounted. Confiding to a friend one night, he admitted, "If I say it, I'll lose everything. If I keep it, I'll lose her anyway. I don't know what to do." The breaking point came during another gathering, one neither Ciara nor Mendeecees wanted but were dragged into by friends hoping for closure. Ciara arrived first, her expression firm though her hands trembled. Mendeecees followed, shoulders slumped, carrying the weight of the world. Yandy watched from the corner, eyes sharp, her presence quiet but alert. Even she seemed unsettled by how far things had spiraled. The silence was unbearable until Ciara spoke. "You said there's more," she said coldly. "Say it now, all of it. No half-truths." Mendeecees hesitated, throat tight. Every eye in the room was on him. Slowly, he began. "It wasn't just about protecting myself," he confessed. "It was about protecting someone else, too." The room went still. Ciara leaned forward, eyes blazing. Who are you protecting?" Mendeecees' eyes flicked toward Yandy for a split second. That glance set off chaos. Ciara's face twisted in disbelief. "Don't tell me she's part of this!" she shouted, pointing at Yandy. His jaw tightened. "Don't twist it," she shot back. I exposed the truth because it was eating me alive. If I wanted to protect him, I wouldn't have said a word. Sierra stood, chair nearly toppling. So you both lied to me? You kept this secret while I sat here like a fool? Mendes raised his hands, desperate. It wasn't like that. I was trying to keep the past from destroying the future. Mistakes happened. Things that shouldn't have. If they came out, I knew it would tear us apart. The room erupted with voices. Some demanding clarity, others telling him to stop dodging. Sierra's voice cut through, trembling with fury. Just say it. What mistake? Mendes finally blurted it out, voice cracking. I wasn't faithful. And it wasn't just anyone. It was someone close. Too close. The words hit like a physical blow. Sierra staggered back, pale, chest heaving. Close? She repeated in disbelief. Who? All eyes turned between Yandy and Sierra. The tension was suffocating. Yandy shook her head immediately. Don't look at me. I would never. This is his secret, not mine. But the damage was done. Sierra's mind raced through every possible scenario, each worse than the last. Her voice broke as she finally screamed, tears spilling over. You disgust me. I defended you, loved you, trusted you, and this is what you were hiding? Mendes reached for her, but she recoiled violently. Don't touch me, she spat. You don't get to comfort me after this. The room descended into chaos. Friends tried to console Sierra. Others scolded Mendes. You had every chance to tell her before it exploded like this, one shouted. Now look at the mess you've made. Fans replayed the scene endlessly, analyzing every glance, every pause. Some praised Yandy for standing her ground. Others accused her of being more involved than she admitted. Theories spread, painting the betrayal in ever darker shades. Sierra left in tears, friends by her side. Cameras caught her storming away, muttering, I can't believe I ever thought he was different. Mendes slumped in his chair, defeated. I've lost her, he whispered. But the story wasn't over. Rumors suggested the betrayal had layers, hidden complications, and others protecting their own secrets. Yandy insisted she'd told everything she knew, but fans speculated otherwise. Sierra cut Mendes off completely, leaning on family for support. Mendes faced relentless backlash, losing reputation and allies alike. Yet the biggest question remained unanswered. Who was at the center of his betrayal? The saga left shattered trust, broken relationships, and unresolved questions. Sierra lost the man she loved. Mendes lost everything he had built. Yandy lost her standing as a trusted confidant. Emotions ran high, and the audience remained glued, debating what would happen next. Could Mendeecees ever redeem himself? Would Sierra forgive him? Or was this betrayal permanent? One thing was clear: the drama wasn't over, and the tension would keep fans talking.